Hey, sorry for not seeing my camera. It's not working, but yeah, we are filming a video here, which is great. I'm pleased to announce that the video coming after uh, this on November 13th. We're talking about heroes versus villains. We're talking about the Human Torch, slash also known as Johnny Storm, which is great. And I have this video coming on the 12th, which I'm filming right now. We're talking about Chucky Season 2 overview, which is great. Consisting of 8 episodes, I'm pleased to announce that Season 3 will be on November 25th, which is great. And here we go. Like I just mentioned, Chucky Season 2 consists of 8 episodes. First episode is going to be Halloween 2, which is great. It was directed by Jeff Renbro and written by Don Mancini, creator of the Chucky franchise. It came out October 5th, 2022. Here we go. Bio. Tiffany doll holds him at gunpoint. Andy drives the truck of good guy calls to he stole off a cliff. 6 months later, Jake, main character from the first season and the whole show, now lives with a foster family in Salem, New Jersey, with his younger foster brother Gary. Therapist Dr. Mixter, sorry, helps Caroline overcome her new fears by giving her a non-possessed doll, which resembles the original bride design of the Tiffany doll, Bride of Chucky. Lexi alerts Jake and Devin of it. They arrive at their house and stay at the night. Next day, Gary arrives at Lexi's house with Chucky in tow, carrying a homemade bomb. Chucky explains that his army of dolls survived the crash. They plan to alert Jake, Devin, and Lexi to the same location so they kill all three of them. Devin uses Chucky, who drops the ball. Gary picks it up and runs, but Chucky attacks him. Dennis ball, killing himself and Gary. Jake, Devin, and Lexi are blamed for Gary's death and are sent to Catholic school for an incarnate Lord. In the same building that contained the boarding room where Charlie Ray grew up. After their arrival, a Chucky's box-sized package has arrived at school. Okay, dinners are much more fun. Directed by Samir Rahman, who directed The Answer Key and also works in this. Written by Marley Westphal and Don Mancini. October 12th, 2022. Tiffany wakes up next to the bloody head of a Tiffany doll that Andy killed. Nika Chucky, who was now been Tiffany's captive for years, says it's a warning that he's coming to kill her. A detective later visits Tiffany, investigating Nika's disappearance, but Tiffany kills him. At school of Incarnate Lord, Jake, Devin, and Lexi meet the headmaster, Father Bryce, as well as Lexi's eccentric roommate Nadine, who makes Jake a kleptomaniac. Lexi also discovers that Trevor, her childhood bully, is a student and altar boy. Meanwhile, Chucky doll sent to school awakens and causes a nun to die of a heart attack, whom he then photographs. When Bryce catches Jake confronting Chucky, he locks him in the safe room. Jake photographs Jake and escapes through the chimney. He even makes his way to Lexi's room and photographs her shooting Don Zapim. Jake and Devin arrive in time up. Jake theorizes that Chucky is nearly a scout for someone else. After it is revealed that Nika and Chucky have formed an alliance to take down Tiffany, Glenn and Glenda, Chucky and Tiffany's evil twin children arrive at their house. Hail Mary is next, directed by Samir Raham, written by Nick Ziegler and Rachel Paradise, which is cool. October 19th, 2022. Alexi discovers that Chucky has only one contact in her phone named Colonel Trevor, who sees the drugs in Lexi's physician, informs her about Major Cross's lost re-election and threatened to use his leverage to ruin her life. When Chucky refuses to reveal any information, Jake insists sway him by decides a means of sensory overload and aversion therapy. It appears to work, turning Chucky docile and seemingly amnesiac. Jake and Devin argue over the methods, with Devin wanting to kill Chucky, while Jake overcome guilt over Gary's death, believing he can only forgive himself if he can also forgive Chucky. Bryce witnesses the two kissing. Meanwhile, another Chucky doll is delivered to school, kills a priest while Nadine is in confessional. When Lexi suffers an anxiety attack, the docile Chucky leaves, later showing up on Bryce's desk. The next day, Trevor enters Lexi's empty room, but the newer Chucky follows him and kills him. Jake, Devin, Lexi, and Nadine, who are forced to hide the body, newer Chucky is bigger and stronger than normal, enters Bryce's office and threatens the docile Chucky. Next one is Death on Denial, number 4, directed by Don Mancini, written by Alex Delisle and Kim Garland. October 26, 2022. Glenn and Glenda, who believe that Tiffany is actually Jennifer Tilly, voice actress, question her about knowledge of Nika. Tiffany feigns ignorance. Glenda then mentions a recurring nightmare, which is murder a young woman. See to Chucky. Glenn and Glenda also discover they have invited over Jennifer's family and friends, including Gina Gershon, Joe Pantalano, Son Strack, and Meg Tilly, as part of a surprise party. Tiffany has also hired a butler, Jeeves, who aggravates the guests with questions. But despite Tiffany only hiring him to guard Nika's room, when Nika disappears from her room, Jeeves turns up dead and killed by Glenda. Tiffany pretends that she is hosting a murder mystery party. As Tiffany searches for Nika and questions her guests about Jeeves' death, it is revealed that Glenn is aiding Nika and attempts to help her escape. 3 months before, Glenn and Glenda discover a tie of Nika, accidentally triggering an emergence of Nika Chucky, who convinced Glenda to help kill Tiffany. As Glenn tries to usher Nika out of the house, sight of Joe's corpse killed by Gina reawakens Nika Chucky, and Glenda knocks Glenn unconscious. Aided by new metal arms, Nika Chucky tries to shoot Tiffany, but the bullets are gone. Tiffany slaps Nika Chucky, bringing back Nika. Glenn elects to stay behind as Nika escapes with Glenda, entering a car driven by the still alive Kyle. Number 5 is next. Episode number 5, Doll on Doll, directed by Leslie Libman, worked on season 1. Directed, written by Mallory Westfall and Isabella Gutierrez. November 2nd, 2022. Two Chuckers fly inside Bryce's office. The docile Chucky, now calls himself Good Chucky, gets off brand and incapacitates the evil Chucky via crucifixion, leading to Lexi to discover Trevor's body is gone. Devin, because of desperation of Jake's continued defense of Good Chucky, begins to doubt his own morality. Evil Chucky recovers in front of his sister, Ruth, who is convinced that he's a reincarnate of God. Meanwhile, Glenn, who has been having the same nightmares as Glenda, confronts Tiffany about Nika's captivity, but Tiffany refuses to divulge any information unless Glenn reveals Nika's whereabouts. When his Meg decides to stay at Tiffany's house, they capture Jennifer, trapped beside Tiffany's doll. From C to Chucky feeds Tiffany false information, and Meg and Glenn walk into the two arguing. Jennifer begs Meg for help. Tiffany murders Meg and reveals her true identity to Glenn, progressing out the original, bequeathing on the original Glenn and Glenda doll. Tiffany and Glenn burn down the house and leave with the doll and hide up Jennifer and Glenda. Meanwhile, Devin and Lexi follow clues from photos on Chucky's phone, revealing in a cabin in the woods in the grounds near it. They see a body of Chucky's recent victims, the Colonel, who's a bald Chucky torturing a still alive Andy, and Dr. Mixter, who calls the doll Charlie. Number 6 out of 8. We have He Is Risen Indeed, directed by Leslie Lidman, written by Alex Delisle and Kim Garland. November 9th, 2022. A flashback reveals after a truck crash, several of the remaining Chuckies, including Colonel, dragged an unconscious Andy to captivity. Dr. Mixture, who was Charles Lee Ray's child therapist, offers help. Colonel kills other teens. When they leave the cabin, Devin and Lexi free Andy. The minute they take him back to school, Bryce, furious at Devin and Lexi for leaving the grounds, locks down the school. Devin and Lexi bring Andy, posing a homeless man, to the school, and Bryce allows him to stay thanks to the influence of Dr. Sister Catherine. Meanwhile, Kyle convinces Nika to allow her to speak to Nika Chucky, but he merely taunts her about Andy and unsuccessfully urges Glenda to kill her. Kyle, Nika, and Glenda later drive towards her school. Sister Ruth attempts to convince Bryce the evil Chucky's doll has godlike sentiments, but he accuses her of heresy. The Colonel later kills the evil Chucky via arsenic, lays communion waters. Sister Ruth vows to avenge him. Andy informs teams that the Colonel went insane and killed all the other surviving Chuckies from the crash. He kills the Colonel, but is disturbed to see good Chucky. Dr. Mixter armed with a gun retrieves good Chucky, locking Andy and the team inside their room. Good Chucky sees Bryce and begs for help, why Andy breaks out the door. Ensuing chaos, Dr. Mixter wounds Sister Catherine, knocks Andy unconscious while good Chucky runs upstairs with Nadine in pursuit. When Nadine tries to confront him, he briefly turns evil and pushes her out of the window to her death. Going to the Chapel is next directed by John Hyams, written by Nick Ziegler and Amanda Blanchard. Hyams worked on Universal Soldiers. But yeah. On November 16th, 2022, Dr. Mixter claims she needs good Chucky to find a good guy doll to free Nika Chucky, who she calls Nika Chucky Prime. She forces Bryce, along with the rest of the game, to perform exorcism on good Chucky to send Chucky to hell in exchange for performing voodoo doll to move Chucky Prime to good Chucky's body. A traumatized Lexi overdoses and dozamapine, causing her to hallucinate Nadine's ghost, who convinces her to keep going. Glenda demands answers from Chucky, but he simply calls him a killer. They demand to help him escape. Exorcism then causes Chucky to enter Bryce's body. Bryce then explodes. Nika successfully performs the ritual, and James attempts to kill Chucky Prime, but Sister Ruth arrives. Holding Lexi at gunpoint, Jake allows Dr. Mixter to leave Chucky Prime. Sister Ruth prepares to kill Lexi anyway, but Glenda kills Sister Ruth before she can. Andy chases Dr. Mixter and Chucky Prime. He kills Chucky Prime, but Dr. Mixter escapes. Meanwhile, Jennifer Tilly, now wanted for murder, Tiffany then formulates a new plan and is swapping bodies with Jennifer again. However, Jennifer escapes from the car and is killed by an oncoming truck, devastating Tiffany. Tiffany and Glenn arrive at school when Nika attempts to shoot Tiffany. Glenn jumps in front of the bully. Tiffany and Glenda take Glenn away to get help. Last episode is going to be Chucky, actually, directed by Jeff Renfro, written by Alex Delisle, Mallory Westfall, and Don Mancini. This is the last episode of Season 2, November 23rd, 2022. A flashback reveals that Chucky Prime was able to run over some bodies with Dr. Mixture before Andy killed the doll. Now in her body, Chucky retrieves a new good guy doll from his office, which transfers himself into, resulting in the police finding Dr. Mixture's body. Glenn's conditioning worsening. Glenda and Tiffany decide to save him by transferring them into the Glenn. So Glenda doll, after killing a suspicious cop, performed the ritual from both twins. The doll now comes with Gigi. Tiffany ships Gigi to London so they learn more about their origins. England, so they learn more about their origins. Weeks after returning home, Jake and Lexi enlist in a group therapy. And Lexi invites Jake and Devin to stay at their house for Christmas. On Christmas Eve, Jake and Devin, along with Lexi, Mary Cross, and their respective relationships. Chucky arrives at the house as does Tiffany, who's searching for Caroline's Belle doll. Chucky emerges Mary Cross when she comes down the stairs, and Tiffany doesn't intervene when Lexi arrives and kills Chucky. Jake and Devin wound Tiffany, but Caroline, whose mind has been fully twisted by Chucky, claims Tiffany is her real mother, leaves her and the Belle doll. Next day, Jake, Devin, and Lexi are visited by Miss Fairchild, who believes her stories about Chucky. 3 weeks later, Tiffany and Caroline move to New York. Tiffany receives a threatening phone call from Nika, who is in New York as well, and swears revenge on her. Tiffany attempts to transfer her into a soul Belle doll, but fails when it's revealed to be Chucky in disguise. He attacks Tiffany as Caroline smiles. But that's it. Thank you guys. Like I said, the video coming after us on November 13th, we're talking about heroes versus villains. We're talking about hero Johnny Storm, also known as Human Torch, which is good. And Chucky Season 3 will be on November 25th. Yeah, that's really it. Hope you guys enjoy, and thank you guys so much. Have a great and wonderful day. Bye bye.